We are coming to you live with Sweat Teen and Stephanie. We just got back from the gym. It was 3 hours to wake up, even though my body felt a little fatigued, a little tired, but not bad as I thought it would be. So, waiting for PAGS to come on with me. He just took off. So I was sitting here drinking my water. Did get a good 45-minute workout today. I tried to rewarm my coffee, and I accidentally pushed 5 minutes instead of 25 seconds. I don't know how that, I think because I just got nails, so it's hard. Like I'm not used to them yet. And so I'm like, gosh, my coffee's taking a while, and then it exploded.
What were we talking about?
My coffee. It exploded
Nice.
because I put 5 minutes, and I was like, it's taking a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, because it probably is in there longer than it should be. So
Oh my gosh.
sorry about how we both went to the gym. You do not smell good. The couch isn't cleaner.
What do you want to talk about today?
I don't know.
Okay, good times.
So funny thing, we're so tired last night. We just got and we got there Wednesday. We get there Tuesday, but this year we got there Wednesday. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes we would come home on Monday, but yesterday we flew home early. And usually that's like our day. Like we're really tired because it's go, go, go. So you have session after session. You have like usually like a 2-hour gap between sessions. Last year we were doing 75 hard. So that break, we were working out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really, really hard. And anyway, and then we had an interview, and one morning we showed up there at 7 a.m., which is 4-hour time.
Yeah, let me just tell you real quick how how irritating this was. So we left, what day? We went on Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we left Wednesday morning. Our flight took off at 6, was it 6? I think it was 6 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
which means we left the house at 3:30 in the morning, so we were up at 2:30 in the morning or something crazy like that. We get to LAX, we get on the plane, we do the thing, then we get into Atlanta, get there, it's kind of like go, 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 you have no time to sleep. And here's the thing, we were so tired when we got there, we had 2 choices. It was either go to bed and then just be groggy and tired for the rest of the day, or go to the gym. And so we opted to go work out, right? We went and worked out, and then Wednesday night, we had
a party.
Yeah, we had a party, that's right. And then we were up late. So we were up late Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning we were supposed to report at 7 a.m. to do this interview. And I was like, man, that's it's 7 a.m. They're doing this kind of early. Crazy. So we didn't sleep. So we didn't sleep the night before, and then we didn't sleep to go to this interview at 7 a.m. We're up again at 5:30. We went to bed at 2. Up again at 5:30. And so we go there, I get up, I'm there's nowhere to get any coffee, so I have some pre-workout because I've got to do an interview and I need to be awake for this thing. And we go there and we're walking around the convention center, and there's it's like a ghost town. There's nobody out, there's no one around. And so we're oh my gosh, the 7 a.m. call time was Pacific time. And so our actual call time was 10 a.m. And so we went back to the room. I'm going back to bed, which I couldn't do because I took a bunch of pre-workout. I ended up falling asleep for 20 minutes and then woke up super groggy, crazy grouchy. I was so stinking grouchy. And then we went and did the interview, and oh my gosh, thank God Mama had her stuff together because she absolutely killed it. They used nothing that I said because I didn't make any sense. I was angry in my face. I was couldn't answer any of the questions. I was super groggy, totally out of it. But it was just a nightmare interview, absolute nightmare. Huh?
It wasn't a nightmare, but because I knew if I couldn't go back to sleep, I couldn't rest and then get back up. You can't do that. You just have to power through, or I would get really groggy. So I was I try to lay down for just sit on the chair for a second. I'm okay, we have a window, and they did send the correct time. I think that they kind of because we got a couple of reminders at 7 a.m. and that was actually the latest. Because like the earliest was 6 a.m. I'm like, that is really early. And so I'm like, well, I'll do the latest. And so, anyways, but I felt bad because like the first question was kind of like not a hard question, it was kind of like one of those questions where you have to kind of think a little bit more. And Jared was just like, you take this one. And so I did. And so I felt like I had to pull the slack, like.
She did too.
And so
She totally did.
every question I was like, okay, I'll answer. And like, he's like, that was my answer. But so he didn't do it. He was just tired. And I'm sure they're going to use other parts like later on. But
they're not going to use any of my parts. Terrible. Like worst interview I've ever done in my life. It was terrible.
But I was saying how usually the day we come back, so it's go, go, go. It's last year I think it was crazier because we were doing this at 75 hard, and then we shared our story on stage, and then when we walked the stage, there was all these like go and rehearsal and this and this and this. So we were constantly going. It was exhausted. This year I felt it was a little bit less stressful, although it's still tiring because you're spending time with your team, you're hanging out, which is so much fun, but it's a lot, So what was different about this year though is that, and this whole year, is just really focusing on our health and so in our fitness. And so we got back yesterday, and this is cool. These are the changes I always tell people, like just try to get better. Do something if you're wanting to get better in life, like do something different. Mm-hmm. Do something different that's going to support your future self, your potential self. And so we got home from the airport, and it was kind of like gloomy. It was a little gloomy, and it felt like kind of fall weather. And I was tired, and Jared, he's the one that actually was like, let's go to the gym when we get home. He's like, I'm gonna go to the gym. Do you want to go with me? Which, guys, that's a hint. Don't like tell your wife. Just ask her. Like, I'm gonna go. Would you like to go with me? Because we don't like to feel pressure. At least I know.
No, didn't.
So, anyways, so we did. We got home. We said hi to the girls, and we had about an hour, and we went to the gym. And I was proud of us because normally I would take that entire day to just rest. And I think rest is super, super important. So don't get me wrong. But I'm like, you know what? We have an active line coming out. We have new products that are going to be launching in September. They help support, muscle, help you recover, better, quicker. Muscle recovery. And so I want to make sure that we're representing our brand, and then I'm like, what would a fit person do? And so even though I still have goals, I still have things I want to achieve, I'm getting closer. And so like, what would a fitness person do? A fitness person would make their workouts a priority, whether they're tired or not. And so, and actually one girl on stage, we love her, she said that every morning she wakes up and she literally will say this out loud, like as she's getting up, her like eyes barely open. She's like, I'm not a morning person, but she's like, do the thing. And she goes and makes her protein shake. And she was saying how once you create, because motivation comes and goes, we can't rely on that. That's a feeling. But when you start to do things kind of out of discipline, it becomes part of you. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't have to think about it. It's automatic, right? We do the thing because brushing our teeth helps us not have cavities, makes our teeth whiter. So anyways, that's really, I don't ever want to skip the gym. I always say don't skip it more than 2 days. Preferably only if you have to miss it one day for that rest day, but make it so much a part of your life that it becomes a part of you, that it's a habit. Yeah. That was really long, but I was proud of us. I was proud of me.
But you do that too, though, actually, right? Like you get up every morning and you do the exact same thing. You get up, you have your first fueling, you make your coffee. You always have water before you fill up your water bottle. Yeah. So you do that too. You do that.
Well, but it's I've done.
You haven't done it for a long time. Sorry, I just totally interrupted you. You already did.
Yeah, and I wasn't looking at the camera, I was looking at the screen. So sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, well, and it's about those little habits that for me, I know I'm not alone. I know this is for most people. Like sometimes we try to do too much too soon, and that's where we end up failing because it's like, make your bed first thing in the morning, eat healthy, go work out. Then we have kids and it's a lot. So thankfully, with through Optavia, like it's really, 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 really taught me how to start small and how to incorporate. I keep doing that. How to incorporate like the healthy habits. So drink water before. Now I have to. Now it's like I don't even, like I have to. My body needs to drink water first thing in the morning, and magnesium.
And magnesium, that's like her new kick.
By the way, if you're not taking magnesium, it's a game changer.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, I don't know, is it just the magnesium or is it?
No, I'm taking, there's these pills I'm also taking, my friend Tanya recommended, it's for like stress, especially for us women over 35.
Well played, good catch.
It helps with your mood, stress, and I noticed that I was retaining a lot of water, because I gained weight kind of in my tummy area very, very quickly. Like I'll hold on and had a couple stressful months, and she suggested that. And I'm like, I think there's been a couple days I didn't take it, and I noticed a difference.
Yeah.
So I take 4 of those of magnesium with my water on an empty stomach. We go work out on an empty stomach. So I'll go work out, and then once I come home, I'm actually really not that hungry, and it takes me probably within the next like 30 minutes to an hour, then I'll eat. And then I drink more water and then protein.
Makes sense. And I feel like as the more like you focus on like your health and wellness, and I feel like when you feel like you look better, like you feel better, like your energy is better, your attitude is like a lot more friendly. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get in trouble here. I just feel like, I feel like when you're in the gym and you're consistent and you're working in structure, that you're just happier. And we all feel that, That's the thing. Also, like, because I know there's probably like mostly women watching this, like mom's attitude affects the entire house. If mom is not in a good mood, everybody knows it. And if mom is in a great mood, everybody knows that as well. And it like 1,000%. And I know men, it's the same for men too. Like, if dad's grouchy, like people can, the house can probably feel that, I would imagine. But it's the same for the women. I don't know if everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, and that is hard, right? Like the other, we were talking about when I was, doing the interview. Like I was grouchy. I knew I was grouchy. I was like I couldn't even hide it. Like there's one thing that's really, for me, I can't like hide the anger or the grouchiness from my face. Like the poor camera guy who was like filming us, like I was like, oh my gosh, this freaking grouchy gorilla Italian guy. Like we can't hide it. But I was like intentionally trying to change it, and usually I can do that by like just doing some gratitude exercises. My wife knows, like I will meditate. There's a Tony Robbins, it's like a gratitude type meditation. It's been viewed like a gazillion times. I do it almost every single day because what it does, it takes you through the process of just reminding yourself of like the things that are important. Like we can get really, grouchy or angry or whatever that looks like about really kind of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And then when we focus on like our, our health, and I mean like being well, our children, and they can be stressful, right? As parents, it's like, oh my gosh, like they're dealing with them as teenagers for us, but also everything that comes with that.
Yeah.
Their school, the lunches, who they're hanging out with, what they're doing when they're hanging out with those people, coordinating, just getting them to these places, all the activities, like, that's stressful. But when we can look at those things and we can think to ourselves like, hey, I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. If I were to rewind 15 years, like where I am right now, like if I could see me then, now, like, oh my gosh, like this is what I dreamed about, like having these kids and having this family. And so, but then when you're in it sometimes and you have like the stress and the weight of all of it, it can be overwhelming. And then sometimes you just have to remind yourself, like, it's not that serious. Like the things that we take super serious that we're like, that are either frustrating or that, weigh on us. It's like, I don't remember who said it, but it was, if it's not going to be important in 5 years, then, don't sweat or something. I think, is that how it goes?
Time more than 5 minutes worrying about it or whatever.
Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah.
But the thing is you have to know that like secret trick,
Yeah.
and you got to remind yourself. And so the gratitude meditation that I do with Tony Robbins, I like highly recommend it. Like it's called priming is what it is. If you just go to YouTube and do Tony Robbins priming, like total game changer. It will 1,000% reset like your attitude and where you are in terms of your headspace. And sometimes I'll do it a couple times a day because I want to be operating out of that space. When you are in a gratitude mindset, only then can you be creative. And as business owners, we have to stay in there, right? Because we are constantly dealing, like and those of you who are business owners know that, even if you're not a business owner, you know that you're constantly dealing with disappointments and problems, right? So like if you focus on those things, man, you will stay in, what do we call it?
A victim.
Victim, but below the line, and
Drama triangle.
stay in the drama triangle, right? Like you'll stay below the line because it's so easy to focus on all the bad things. A text from a client, a text from a business partner, a text from a family member. Like one of those things can immediately just take you like completely in a different direction. So staying in gratitude, you have to make a conscious decision to do that. And you got to know what to do. Right? It's like, oh, what does that mean? Stay in gratitude. Like, Johnny, what the heck does that even mean? It means remind yourself frequently of all of the things, the great things that have happened. And what I love about this particular exercise is you close your eyes and you put yourself in that space. No joke. I think about probably the same, I know I'm talking about, but I think about the same stuff almost every single time. And almost every single time, I will literally start smiling. It literally makes me happy to go back to these places where I was so thankful for where I was in that moment. So kind of a tangent, but I'm just speaking out of passion, right? Like I believe in coming from that place of gratitude so much. It has completely changed my life. And again, I have to do it several times a day because I can get grouchy in the middle of the day from one stupid text or email that comes my direction. So.
Well, it's so true. I mean, I think you do a better job at that. But if I'm not focused on gratitude, then it can just spiral and I start to focus, like stupid stuff like you mentioned, like last night I came home and we have our laundry and then I go look at the girls, they have laundry and I have like all of our white towels have green on them. Like green from Gia is really into skincare right now, which is awesome. I love that. But she puts on this green mask every night. And instead of washing the green mask off of the wet cloth like I told her to, she takes a towel and wipes it off. So literally it was like 5 or 6 towels and they were all piled together. And so Jared actually, I kind of was like just almost set me off last night. I'm like, Gia, I told you this before. And then Jared actually stopped me and he's like, well, she did, right, Gia? You had a designated towel, which she didn't because there were 5 towels that had it all over. But I just stopped and I don't need to prove my point. She knows. Like right now I'm upset and just stop. So those little things, especially as a mom, that's why I'm big into he said that. I mean, we, us women, I mean, really, we have hormones. We, especially over the age of 35, our hormones start to change, and we have a lot of men have pressure too. I don't want to make us any different or extra special with problems, but I think because of the hormones and stuff, the changes that we go through in our body, that it is so important for me to get up early, to make my bed, because it feels like a win. It feels like I've accomplished one thing, even if the rest of the day goes to, at least I made my bed, right? And I got up early and did my devotion and did my gratitude and got my workout in. And so that's huge, you guys. It's really important for us to clear our mind, get ourselves centered, and allow that time for just me. Because once the kids wake up, once you are a business owner, and like Jared said, if you're not a business owner, we are all of a sudden, all the responsibilities, the emails, the sports, everything comes piling on us. And it can feel like, and I let myself get to this place a few months ago where it's just stress. And then we get into victim. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I have so much responsibility. Everyone depends on me. I don't have anything more to give. But when you work out, it releases those endorphins. You start to feel good. And I've actually I feel better. I feel better about myself. And when you feel better, you can pour into others,
Mm-hmm.
So it's filling your bucket. Then you can give that the stuff that comes. Because if our bucket's empty, we got nothing to give. And then everyone gets the, end of the stick. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the girls. It's not fair to you. Because I know that my mood, if I'm in a bad mood, it just disrupts the entire household.
Mm.
Not always.
And the same with the men.
And I'm just not. I am really, it's funny because I was never a morning person, but I've had to be because I had to show up in order to lead others, in order to lead myself and show up for my family. I had to be a morning person. I had to get up. And I actually enjoy it. I actually do automatically wake up early. But it's something that I absolutely need to do to to make the most of my day. Like, I just feel better. I feel like I've accomplished so much. I was getting up at, well, I know like summer, the schedules are kind of off. So I really kind of had allowed myself to kind of go to bed later and wake up later. So sometimes I would get to the gym at 6:30 or 7, but during fall, it's usually I have to get up at, be at the gym by 5 or 5:30. Because then you get home, you gotta take a quick shower, and then it's driving the girls to school. And it's only a short period. I know if girls, one day they're gonna be off to college if they choose to go, or out of the home. So it's like, it's just a small window, but where I have to kind of sacrifice that and get up early, but I really, really enjoy it. So, for the women that are watching, if you're not a morning person, and you feel like you're stressed, you don't have enough time, that you can never catch up, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I have so many responsibilities. I have laundry and groceries and cleaning the house. If you don't have get a cleaner. But you know what I mean? It's so simple. It's the picking up that is like time consuming. Start getting up earlier, but it also starts with the night before. So Jared just left, so I'm just going to keep talking. But it starts with the night before. If I don't go to bed by like 9:30, and I'm, on my phone late or scrolling, like, you can't get into that full deep sleep, and you wake up tired and groggy. So trying to get better at putting my phone away. I put my phone away from the bed, so that way when the alarm goes off, I have to get up out of the bed and go turn my alarm off. So when you're up, you don't really want to go back to bed. And I just do the thing. So once you start to do those things, it becomes, like I said, more of a habit. So I just went on a spiel.
Awesome. Do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah. So we
So
were
tomorrow? What?
Go ahead.
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
What am I going to say? Tomorrow what?
I was going to say tomorrow at 9 a.m. we'll be back on.
Yeah, we'll be back on live. And that's it, guys. Have a great day. Get some movement in, drink your water, and start your day with gratitude.